Remember, we did have an evening out, and the residents were asked, what would you like to do in your evening out? And we provided a number of different options and ideas that we would like to do, and it was forthcoming from the Denise House staff that they wanted to go to a movie. They accompanied us to the movie, and strangely enough, within the first 5 minutes of the movie, a woman was being beaten. It was totally inappropriate for that group of women to be exposed to that type of thing, under the guise of a night out and entertainment. All the chores that were demanded of us while we were there, and the specific rules and regulations of conduct there. You couldn't go downstairs, for example, to the laundry room with your child, but you weren't allowed to leave your child in the lounge or the TV room while you went downstairs. They had high school co-op students there chasing you around, making sure you were doing your chores. Every room in the house, there were bugs, even in the food. The food that was donated by local businesses for the residents there was, first of all, picked over by the staff. Likewise, the donations of clothing, of furniture, of other household appliances and such, was picked over by the staff. I was there in the fall, and the staff basically didn't have to do their Christmas shopping. I've brought this up since with other people in the community who, through their own generosity, figuring that they're doing something good to help those in need, are apprised of the truth of the fact that, excuse me, those donations, the generosity is not reaching the intended recipients, and that's a concern.
What did you see or hear that would lead you to believe that there were abuses of these donations going on? Like, what were some of the things that you were aware of or heard about going on at the shelter in regards to these donations coming in? What was happening to them that you don't think was right?
They were going to the staff. They were being rifled through and filtered through by the staff who, they would get their new winter coat there. Would all be picked over, and whatever was left, just like food that came from, instead of being thrown out, it would be donated to the Denise House. Well, then the staff would pick through it, and then whatever was left over, their crumbs and leftovers, would then be given to the staff or put out for the staff. Yeah. The next day type of thing.
Did you ever see yourself, any of the staff, taking things from the shelter, putting them in their cars or anything like that?
Yes, definitely. And some of the other residents that were the preferred ones by the staff, I saw them get sets of silverware, get sets of crystal and dinnerware and microwaves and that type of thing, where they had all kinds. this woman had a trunk full. She was a walking garage sale there, you know, a garage sale on wheels. And she was accumulating. Always locked up in her car for safekeeping. And always, you know, adding on more. And this was a woman on her own. And she was going back and forth, seeing her husband almost on a daily basis.
Did you believe that residents and staff were actually taking these things and either taking them home with them or taking them somewhere else to store or to keep?
Yes, definitely. The staff that were there, there's a two sections to the house. There's the staff and the residents. The residents had this cold fluorescent lighting, no heat, not homey atmosphere whatsoever, and the residents weren't allowed to go into the staff section. And that was low lighting, heated, had nice fresh flowers, candles, music, etc. They did chastise me for attending when I did have a meeting with my lawyer, an appointment with my lawyer, because I was more than 2 hours. And I had another woman at the shelter, another resident, look after my child. She was not complaining that I was gone more than the 2 hours, but the staff at the Denise house were phoning my lawyer saying, you know, this other woman is babysitting and that's not fair to her to have to look after my child as well, and it's been more than 2 hours.
So you're saying that the woman who was watching your child was doing this voluntarily for you,
yes,
as a favor,
yeah.
And
Our children were playing together, and they were, you know, that was a welcome break, and my child wasn't like a burden or, you know, another problem for her. She was supervising the children while they were happy playing.
Okay, so you're saying that the Denise House staff were actually making an issue of your time at your lawyer's.
Right.
Okay, and what did they say to you? I mean, you said they called your lawyer.
Right.
Okay. What else did they do in regards to that, this issue, this one
particular issue? Yeah. They made me cut my appointment short with my lawyer and get back there to look after my child right away.